Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope you're all doing well and feeling loved, happy, and blessed. Today I want to talk about traveling and how investing in yourself by traveling. So, I growing up, we went to Mexico at Christmas, and I went one time during the summer, and I had the greatest times. I loved it, but after that, when my teenage years started, um, we stopped going, and I don't think I traveled anywhere from the age of 13 to the age of 33. But prior to turning into a teenager, I used to get in trouble a lot. I was a mischievous kid, and I would read books about the jungles and the oceans and other countries. And so I did travel through, the written word and my imagination. And so, that is one way to travel and shouldn't be discounted. But for all those years, I never did. And when I was a little kid, certain seeds were planted um, that made me always want to go tide pooling, that made me always want to go maybe scuba diving, snorkeling, and things of that nature. And so when I became an adult, I got this job at in the mailroom at this agency, and I would often hear that we lead the world in certain policy endeavors, and to a degree that is true. They do. The agency does, but I don't know if it was just me, but I think I saw it in a lot of folks. This sense of the world seemed to revolve around us. There was just a sense that when you're told you lead the world in certain things, it does something to your self identity that kind of depends on that worldview. Some people want to know the truth, and some people need to believe certain things. And I believe that, hey, I'm part of this world leadership, and it's a very niche area, but I'll leave it there. I'll be vague. It's environmentally related, and that's as far as I'll go. And so when I first traveled out of state as an adult, I went to Hawaii, and I arrived with that attitude that somehow I was special because of where I was coming from. The capital city of the Golden State, which, as they say, as California goes, so does the nation. As the U.S. goes, so does the world. One time I was at the community college in a class, and the political science teacher says, and he was joking, he says, "You guys know that the United States leads the world, and California leads the United States, and this is the center of government and power, and you guys are in a classroom in that place. This is the best place you could be." And it was funny, but I bought into it. And when I got to Hawaii, and I went to the beach to it's on the camera, and got to the beach, and even at the airport, I just saw this whole world of people who didn't have a clue what was happening in Sacramento, nor did they care. They thought their world was it, and well, I should take that back. I wouldn't say that. There was, I was around all tourists who were on vacation, and someone told me before I went, they said, you'll probably be there about 3.5 days before you just feel this tension leave, and you'll realize how uptight we are here in our day-to-day lives. And sure enough, that happened. And I would say some other miraculous type things happened that were the universe telling me to just be cool and relax and not be so wound up. And about day 4, I did let go, and I was just like, man, I could live here. I remember finally going snorkeling at I think it's Hanama Bay, and so I go in the water, and then I pop my head up, you know, and I see my family waving me to let's go, and I get out of the water all mad. I'm like, man, you guys don't ever want to do this stuff as long as I want to do it, because I mean, I would have stayed the night if I could, and night snorkeled with a flashlight. But they're like, you've been in the water 4 hours, and my back was all burnt. And also when I got there, I was on this, this like this. It wasn't a humility. I remember we hiked, and I was offered sunblock, and I said, man, I'm Mexican, we tan, we don't burn, and I got burnt. And then we went to Giovanni's Shrimp Truck on the North Shore, and they said, you want the spicy shrimp spicy or not spicy? And I'm like, come on, man, I'm Mexican, I can handle this. And I couldn't handle it. They were pouring water and ice on my head, and I still ate them. Like, I rinsed them off because I don't like to waste food. But I threw like 2 or 3 away, and these are fat prawns. And when I threw them away, the whole garbage can was full of them. People who bought the spicy, and they couldn't eat them, and they didn't really trip off wasting them. Maybe they would clean them out later and feed them to the fish or something. Yeah, so I did ask 2 people who travel a lot, and they said, you got to be a good ambassador for where you come from. Go with an open mind, expecting to learn how other people are different. And that's not bad. Me personally, I like to look for ways we're the same. And so, I get to Waikiki, and I realize right away, man, all these people could care less about what's going on in that building, about how they lead the world. They don't care what's going on in the building next to it, or the building next to that, or even the Capitol. Most people didn't. It was just they were living their lives, and they were perfectly happy living them without knowing about us. And that really, really humbled me. And here in the United States, I think we've kind of stopped, and we're preserving things now. But there was a trend towards anything old would get destroyed and replaced with something new and shiny and polished. And whereas in other places, they preserved stuff. And so if you go to a country where they have something that is centuries and maybe even thousands of years old, you're humbled, because you stand there and you think, how many people before me were here? How many people touched this? How many people touched this 200 years ago that no one knows about? Is no one going to know about me in 200 years? That humbles you. It really does. It makes you realize how significant we really are in the greater scheme of things, and on this planet, and how there's just so many other people living wonderful, beautiful, happy lives that don't look anything like ours, that maybe don't even have the same luxuries or things we consider luxuries, but that we have to spend all our time working for, instead of enjoying them. I'm enjoying the birds out here this morning. There's 50 different kinds singing 30 different kinds of songs, and it's pretty neat. It's beautiful. There's a lot of trees, nice canopy. Everything doesn't have to be a hustle to get stuff. And unfortunately, my neighbors, unfortunately, the pandemic slowed it down. But you know, we were supposed to go to China, and well, not me. My family was gonna go to China. I got them that for Christmas right before the pandemic started. But I was able to do that because these things are so, they're not that expensive anymore. You know, a family of 5 can go to China with the flight and the hotel and the food for like $1,600. And they're nice places. And you see, you know, like little old folks cleaning the streets and everything's super neat. And, you know, you're kind of followed on the tours, and there's always someone with you. But, you know, and with the war thing, it's probably not a good time. But, you know, there's other places where you could go and see where you fit in with history. And that is a really, really good investment in yourself. You know, sometimes, you know, we can invest in ourselves by buying material things that provide the infrastructure to pursuing our dreams. If you want to be, you know, a custom car builder, you probably need to buy a welder and learn to weld and you know, machine things and things of that nature. If you want to be a painter, you're gonna have to buy easels and paint and brushes and you know, whatever else they need. If you're gonna be a photographer, you're gonna need a camera. If you're gonna be a podcaster, you're gonna need you know, equipment. I'm writing on a phone, and I'm hoping the content will just find my tribe at some point, and you know, they appreciate it. But that's one way to invest. The other way is to invest in things that just build you as a person. You don't have anything to show for it except you know, character and a good story, hopefully. You know, I to swim from Alcatraz, when you account for training and you know, all the time you dedicate to that, the registration, the travel, the hotel, you might be up a set of, you know, gold Zeniths. And at the end, all you're gonna have is a shirt to show for it, and a little bronze, maybe not even a bronze, whatever, you know, a little medal. But what it gives you inside is something priceless, you know. And that's the kind of investing that you should also do. I'm not saying one is good and one is bad. I'm saying both are the kind you should do. And traveling is one way to do it. And I don't mean go to the desert and fuck it up on some ATVs and drink beers and throw them. I mean, you know, go to the desert and, you know, look at the skyline and wonder, you know, how many people have walked there before and how long that was there, and will it be there tomorrow? Anyway, you do your thing, I do mine. That's just a suggestion on how to invest in yourself and get a vacation out of it. Peace, much love.